These guys won't stop talking.
And you can pretty much do it
Felger and Mazz.
in perpetuity.
Yep.
The Sports Hub.
2.5 great quarters for the Charlotte Hornets tonight, but the Celtics too much down the stretch. The clock hits triple zeros. The Celtics have won 11 of 13. They've reduced the magic number to 1 for the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they score yet another quality win late in the year. The final score, Boston 113, Charlotte 102.
How you doing, Peachy? We're brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Simulcast beams across New England and the country on NBC Sports Boston. That's brought to you by Supercuts, Real Smart Hair. Red Sox are in progress. So we're going to start off talking the program about everything else. Celtics last night, Bruins last night, Vrabel, Rossini, canoodling in Arizona. We're going to get to all that stuff here over the next couple of hours. And if you want to mix in some Red Sox stuff, by all means, you're always welcome. Everyone's always welcome. 617-779-0985. We'll just start with the Celtics. Was that a more useful game for you last night, Mazz?
Yeah, it was a little bit anyway. I mean, Charlotte, remember you asked me yesterday, do I worry about Charlotte in the playoffs? And I said to you, yeah, they can score. In the first half, they did that. And then you know what happened, oddly? And this should tell you plenty about Charlotte. The Celtics would be susceptible to the kind of team that does what? And that is gets in their face, pushes them around, plays physically. You know what happened in the fourth quarter of that game last night? The Celtics played physically and got in Charlotte's space, and Charlotte crumbled. So I just don't think the Hornets are tough enough to really beat anybody. They can put a scare in you or maybe even, win a game or two because they can score. But that's it. I mean, I think they're soft on the interior especially. I think that played out in the fourth quarter. LaMelo Ball, did he score ultimately in the fourth quarter? I know he had 0 with like a minute to go.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Okay, so he didn't play for the first 6 minutes of the quarter, I think, as it was. But, or 5 minutes or whatever. But the Celtics will beat the Hornets if they play him in a series. But did I like seeing him pushed a little bit? Yeah. Yeah, I want him to have to fight for some wins.
And they kind of fought for the win last night.
They did. Yep, absolutely. Yep, they fought in the fourth quarter and had to. They dug in, played some defense. There was one possession in particular where, and I'm trying to remember who it was that was pressuring the ball, but Vucevic came out to the top of the key. Whoever it was tried to make an entry pass, and Vucevic jumped up and deflected it. The Celtics grabbed it, went the other way. I thought it was good intensity, good team defense. And to me, you could see Charlotte kind of couldn't handle the pressure in that moment. And I mean the actual physical ball pressure. And so I was happy to see it. I thought that at the other end, and this has become a recurring pattern, the Celtics go to the rim. They go to the rim, and a lot of times they're turning down threes to go there. And I love that.
That's a good sign because I prefer them to play that way. I know they're not going to do that all the time, but they have the bodies to do that. That Charlotte team's kind of fun and frisky, though. At the end of the game, I think I heard Scal say, I wouldn't want to have to face them in the first round. Again, they'd beat them in the first round, but I do have concerns because their play style reminds me of the Celtics a few years ago, and that if they have space, they got shooters, and so they can get in a shootout with you. And so, like Orlando last year, could they maybe make the Celtics work a little harder for it than they probably should have? And then that takes a chunk out of them. Next thing you know, you're tripped up in an East that you should get out of.
Scal, I think he said, I'd rather face someone else. And I see it. But I thought, Mazz, that was the kind of game I think we were kind of looking for, where there was resistance. They had to fight for it.
Where it doesn't feel over after the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a little more telling. And it's absolutely the way they attack the paint, to me, is encouraging. And there was certainly some kick-out threes and a couple of possessions where Tatum settled for a three and all that. I think it's not perfect, but, I mean, I think Jaylen Brown has set the tone in terms of getting into the paint.
He does it over and over.
I think everyone has sort of followed his lead when it comes to that. So your thoughts on the Celtics, 617-779-0985. Touch on these Giannis rumors that will not go away. You understand these Giannis rumors will not go away, Giannis to the Celtics? And do you think it's random or do you think they're there for a reason? I mean, Jimmy Stewart has been sort of hinting at this for a while.
Years, I feel like.
And there are Celtics people or in and around the Celtics who just say, no, that's kind of a thing. It's kind of a thing. Do you not think it's kind of a thing, Mazz?
No, I do.
Why? How is it kind of a thing? Can someone explain this to me?
So it's my guess is he's they're on his list.
They're on his list?
Yep, that'd be my guess.
Okay, I think that's absolutely the case given some of his comments about Joe Mazzulla recently, which we'll circle back to. I think it's more than that. I don't know, Jimmy, you tell me. What have you've been for like months, years, You've been talking about this.
I think there are a lot of high-ranking members, decision-makers with the Celtics who have lusted for Giannis for years. And so if there's a match between Brad Stevens, Joe Mazzulla, Wick, and Giannis, then make it happen.
Okay.
Wick.
I don't know why they would want him. I don't see the fit. It doesn't make sense to me on any level. I mean, again, we all know they want to be out of that repeater tax. They just got out of the tax this year. To do that, you have to do 2 out of 4 years. Giannis is a supermax player. Brown is a supermax. That it just doesn't add up, Stu.
So if you're not trading Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, your combination to get Giannis is at $54 million. White, Hauser, Pritchard, a bunch of pick swaps, you save money. You save like $9 million, and it's legal on the trade machines.
So you're saying they could carry Giannis, Brown, and Tatum, pretty much ditch everything else that makes money, and they're still under the tax?
Yes.
What are you sending out again?
You're sending out Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, and 7 years worth of picks and pick swaps. And you come in at $8 million less with Giannis on the Celtics.
Would you rather do that or just trade Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum?
No, I don't want to try. I don't want to split up Brown and Tatum.
Giannis doesn't make any sense.
Well, I don't know if I'd say he doesn't make any sense.
He doesn't make any sense on the floor. Why do you disagree with that?
Well, what if he is willing to be a big man and just play down by the basket?
And I'm saying that, Mazz, you're right. In his current incarnation, he makes no sense. He's a high usage, stat humping, triple-double seeking, selfish, prima donna NBA ball player.
It's a lot of adjectives.
And I say that with all the love and respect in my heart. I love the guy. I love that he brought us a championship and all of that. But that's what he is. He wants the ball. He's like, do you think Tatum bringing the ball up in the front court drives you nuts? At least Tatum can shoot some of the time. This guy, he stat humping, triple-double seeking prima donna. That does not fit on this team. If he agreed to become a glorified version of Rob Williams, if he became a rim-running big who defended the rim on defense, ran the floor on offense, and just was there for the lob dunk, he'd be awesome. But is that worth $58 million a year?
Nope.
And is he going to do that? I don't get the Giannis thing. Okay, so that's something I want to talk about today, too. We'll get into that a little bit deeper.
If he never won a title with your Bucks, I would maybe be able to wrap my head around the fact he'll change his play style. I just don't know why he'd be willing to do that at this point.
At this point. Now, listen, in like 5 years, when he's done making max money, he's done vying for MVPs, and he's just about championships and fit, and like his career's on the backside of it.
Yeah, more like Al Horford.
If he comes in as Bill Walton, or he comes in and is Al Horford, or he comes in and he's, that guy.
Semi-washed hired gun.
Who's taking less money and is on an exception or something. And now, okay, I'm going to defend the rim and run the floor. But not now. Do you got to take his brothers too? Like the whole thing?
Yeah, right.
Like it's just, I don't know why you would want him. Okay, so that's on the table. Celtics, Giannis, 617-779-0985. Bruins, guess who's come back to earth? Guess who's come crashing back to earth?
Swayman.
Who is the guy? Did we get a call last week where I had to apologize to Jeremy
Yes.
Swayman? Oh.
Where's your apology for Jeremy Swayman?
That guy lose the number? 617-779-0985. If you've lost it. So Jeremy Swayman has gone poof, which was kind of predictable because that is no workhorse, Bruins fans. And as I'll be quick to point out, no goalie in today's NHL hardly is a workhorse, but that guy certainly ain't it. And I think that the workload has finally caught up to him because he was hot garbage last night.
Was he ever?
That was the, what was it, the Technicolor 5-hole? What did DuPont, who was the goalie that he...
John Casey. Very good.
My God. Open wide there. So the Bruins do eke out a point. What's the bigger story? That Gorgon that they found Geeky, Or that Swayman's come back to earth?
Swayman.
What's the bigger head?
Swayman's a bigger headline.
Okay.
Swayman and how horrific they were in that second period.
Your thoughts on Celtics, Giannis, Bruins, Vrabel, Rossini, all of it. 617-779-0985. We'll break here, come back with more Bruins thoughts and your phone calls. Don't go anywhere.
Felger and Mazz continue on the Sports Hub.
Now Carolina comes back the other way. Blake sends it across far circle. Shot blocked by Peak. Rebound score. Peak blocked the initial shot, but it came right back to Taylor Hall, and Carolina makes it 5-3.
They got to be thinking about Korpisalo. In fact, I think they're going to go to him right now. But this is off the rush. The pass is through the seam from the right wing side to the left wing side to Taylor Hall. The first shot is blocked, like you said, by Peak, but it's not defended well enough by the Bruins, and the second shot is going to beat Swayman to the glove side from Hall. Yeah, they're getting Korpisalo ready right now.
Korpisalo not on the bench. He's in the tunnel down to our right, or to our left here, and is coming out now to take Jeremy Swayman's place with 11:27 to go in the second period. Swayman 19 saves on 24 shots. Will depart. The third time he has been lifted from a game this year.
Jeremy Swayman, last 3 starts, 0-2. Didn't get the decision last night, so really should be 0-3. 3-7 goals against, 870 save percentage. Last 3 games, Mazz.
Brutal.
Last 5, 2-2-0, and again, should be really 2-3. 3.35 goals against, 883 save percentage. Korpisalo in his last 3, 2-0-1, 262 goals against, 889 again. So it finally caught up to Jeremy Swayman.
Last night, Swayman cost them a point.
Yeah, probably so.
Because I'm judging that in part on the way that Korpisalo played the third period, because he was terrific.
Oh, he was awesome.
So if Swayman had played, in other words, if Korpisalo had played the whole game, they'd have won that game last night, based on how the 2 goalies played. Now, look, I know you can't do it that way, but you get the idea. Yeah. So, because Carolina was not on their game. I mean, certainly not on the defensive end of the ice.
I don't know. When they turned up the pressure,
that second period.
At that end.
They were
what
basically
about the other end?
Their Boosie one much better. Go ahead.
They were like setting up plays. It was like practice for them for a long stretch of that second period. It looked like a joke.
I'm talking more about the defensive end. And there were a couple where Geekies camped right in front of the net, basically to score. And both of his 2 goals basically came from the same spot. He was right there in front of the net both times. So defensively, we were saying this yesterday. He's supposed, they're supposed to be one of the most disciplined and best teams in the league. And Boosie sucked too, as you said. He wasn't good either. The offensive end, they were fine, but Swayman was horrible.
Well, I just think when Carolina turns up the pressure and gets their thing going and starts playing fast, you are overmatched by that team. And Swayman wasn't there to bail you out, and he hasn't been there to bail you out for a while. Water has seeked its level. The bubble has burst. The workload is caught up. I would fill in the blank. That has happened with Jeremy Swayman. I think it's important that they clinch here officially as soon as possible and get him some rest, because he's someone that needs it. All right, so there's a Bruins thought for you. Mix it in with our Celtics impressions. 617-779-0985. Colin in the car, you in or out on Giannis?
Out. O-U-T, out. And I don't know why Celtics fans would feel any differently after watching the Lillard-Giannis experiment absolutely implode. He's a ball-hawking, dramatic center who's going to take more possessions away from Brown and Tatum, and I'm not trading those guys for Giannis, so I'm out.
Out. Again, unless we're 5 years from now and he's taking mid-level exception kind of money, or he's done chasing MVPs and he's done chasing triple-doubles, and he's there to just play a role at the end of his career and win a championship, and he's willing to run the floor and defend the rim and and lob dunk, then fine. But then again, in 5 years, is he going to be doing that? There's no path for me and Giannis and your team. Why would you do that? If I were the Bucks, and you wanted to trade me Jaylen Brown for Giannis, I've been saying this for 2 years. I'd take Jaylen Brown for Giannis. Never mind today. That's obvious. That other package you said? Pritchard, White, whatever, and 7 pick swaps? Yeah. I mean, yes, I would do that too. Whether that'd be bailing the Bucks out.
But, Mike, you also have to acknowledge that Giannis has a calf injury that's probably going to turn into an Achilles.
Yes.
So his value is like nothing right now.
Agreed.
So this scares me about Giannis, too. That we should have said this.
Agreed.
Yeah, earlier in the week.
He's a time bomb.
That thing's waiting to pop, which might be one of the real reasons they're not playing him.
Nick in Fall River. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, guys, thanks for the call. No moon stuff today, and I'm just going to mention it real quick. Thank God Geeky finally decided to put a couple on the board. It ended up being 3. I missed the third one because I don't know if it came after they pulled Swayman. Once they pulled Swayman, that's what I want to get into. That rebound he gave up to Taylor Hall, that was pathetic. That was almost like an assist pass, basically, to Taylor Hall. I mean, he needed to come out of the game, but if he's going to play like this, they're not even making it out of a first round because he looks like he's got his head up his ass again right now.
Didn't that Taylor Hall goal bounce off the defenseman?
I thought it got blocked and came back to him.
Thought it got blocked by the defenseman and came back to him.
I thought so too.
But the rebound went through the wickets.
Yeah, it still should have stopped it.
He had like 2 or 3 right through the wickets.
He couldn't see the puck all night. I mean, really, again, I don't know if you remember, they played Detroit a couple of weeks ago where they had a bunch of shots through screens, the Red Wings did, and Swayman got them all. He saw the puck exceptionally well in that game. This was the total opposite of that. He couldn't see the thing if it was coming right at him with no one in the way.
Here's Dean in Shrewsbury on the Celts. Hi, Dean.
Hi, you guys are crazy for not wanting Giannis. He's a top 5 player. If we got him without giving up JT or JB, we'd have 3 top 5 players in the NBA at the same time. That's probably never been done in NBA history. I would put everybody except JT and JB on the board for him, even my beloved Peyton Pritchard.
Dean is our true Celtics contrarian. What? Do you need him?
No, I don't think so.
Tell me how he's going to play. Meaning where he's going to play.
Okay, so that's the thing I told you. If he wants to legitimately be a big man, like legitimately be a rim protector and a guy who, because I even think he can score down, but it doesn't just have to be alley-oops. Sure. Okay, like if you can get him to play within 10 feet of the basket on both ends of the floor, ideally like 6 feet, but whatever, fine, I'll take him. If not, and I'm not disputing anything you're saying about what he has been. I'm just saying if he would commit to it with Tatum and Brown on the team and accept the fact that he's a big man who's got to play in the paint, he could be really good.
Well, I mean, this is just the place to do it. You know, I could just see it where his game just is completely bastardized there in Milwaukee, and he's just allowed to do whatever he wants, and he's just like they've created this monster. And then he comes here to a team that's about winning and team in the franchise, and he just sort of drops all the crap and goes to play the way he should play. And I can just sort of see that happen. I can just see that happen with Giannis and the Celtics. Stone and Natick. Go ahead, Stone.
The Celtics need to keep running the ball through Brown because last year's play style blew their chance at another championship. Your thoughts?
I agree. I think I see Tatum. It feels to me like Tatum's attacking the paint more with Jaylen Brown. I feel like I sensed it last night. I just feel like he's sort of setting a tone of this is how we should be playing. And that's not to say they're not shooting threes too, but I just feel there's a little bit more of a commitment to getting into the paint.
Tatum, in that fourth quarter, Tatum had a 3-pointer from the left corner. Guy came out, he ducked under him, went in and laid it in.
I know exactly the player you're talking about.
Yep, he went right along the baseline. I think it was a reverse layup, if I remember right. And more of them are doing that now. More of them are turning. I told you Hauser's done it a couple of times. And if that's all a spinoff that I've seen, I mean, I'm sure it's more than that. But if that's a spinoff of what Brown has brought them, keep it up.
Matt in New Bedford. Go ahead, Matt.
Before I get to my Bruins goaltending take, can I just say thank God for the New England Patriots and all their crap that always happens every year. Something always ends up happening for that team. Mike Vrabel's the latest, I would say, victim or I don't know, whatever. But just thank God, because now we're going to get all the pretzel twisting from Patriots fans. Oh, they were just doing an interview or whatever crap. Anyway.
I look forward to it myself, Matt. We'll get to that in a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay, 3 days off. Corpusalo was the reason you got a point last night. and Swayman was absolutely terrible, but you got the first place team in the East coming up. Who's the starting goalie? I know it should be Swayman, but you got to get at least 2 points. So I don't know.
So you're talking about the Bruins' next game? Is the Bruins' next game Saturday?
Saturday against
I think
Tampa,
that's right, yeah.
That's a pretty good blow for Swayman.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, that's
he's got to get that game.
Got to be Swayman, because then they're playing Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So that's got to be Swayman. And we'll see. We'll see what we got with him. Here's Big Jim Murray with an update. We continue with your thoughts. Bruins, Celtics. We will get to Vrabel and Rossini. You can call us on whatever you want at 617-779-0985. I also have a giveaway for you coming up as well. I know you like free stuff, so don't leave your radio.
Whee! Goalie fight.
Felger.
Whee! Look at the goalie fight.
Oh,
Mazz.
oh my God.
Murray.
He sucks in the playoffs.
That's great. No.
98.5.
Wonderful. Good.
The Sports Hub.
With Celtics people or reporters or people who talk to Celtics people, it's like, it's a thing. Take my word for it. It's a thing. And then The Athletic, is it Sam Amick?
Sam Amick, yeah.
Wrote the following on the Giannis situation. It was a story about the Giannis situation in Milwaukee and that disaster. He writes, as for Antetokounmpo, who continues to insist that he sees a pathway to reconciliation with the Bucks, while simultaneously wondering if he waited too long to push for a trade, his recent praise of Boston Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla, was the kind of calculated commentary that sheds light on how he views the sensitive situation. Quote, everything about my decision is based on winning culture, said Antetokounmpo. Like you saw, I talked with Coach Joe Mazzulla. I said, you had so many opportunities to make excuses, but you didn't. Of course, the Celtics, and this is Amick writing, that of course the Celtics somehow managed to remain among the Eastern Conference elite despite trading Drew Holiday to the Portland Trail Blazers last summer and missing Jason Tatum for most of the season. Quote, and Mazzulla said, oh, they're good players, Antetokounmpo continued. I said, no, Joe. It's about the mentality that you instilled in your place, end quote. So Giannis is servicing Joe Mazzulla there. Murray, you have a thought?
No. I'm just taking a breath, that's all.
So, okay, let me just ask, if we were in Milwaukee, would we take that as servicing Joe Mazzulla or ripping Doc Rivers?
Well, I guess the same, but he chose Joe Mazzulla to do it.
Well, so that's true. Yeah, and I would say I think that those comments are as much about the Bucks and Doc Rivers as they are about the Celtics and Mazzulla. But I also will acknowledge he could have said anything about any team that he wanted to, and he chose the Celtics.
The one thing I will not believe coming out of Giannis's mouth from here going forward is that he still wants to try to resolve it to stay with Milwaukee. That thing's fractured. Like, just rip the Band-Aid off. That relationship is over.
I would think so.
Definitely.
It should be. It should be from the organization's standpoint. They completely botched it. They should have realized it was over around the Lillard time, frankly. I mean, that should have been their last great shot at it. Pair him with one more player. That didn't work. Now that's it. Okay? And they should have moved on. But they botched it from the highest levels, which shouldn't be surprising given that Jimmy Haslam joined their ownership group a couple of years ago, and I could just feel that one coming. They were going to screw something up from the ownership level. Anyway, Amick writes that the Celtics, who have Tatum and Brown back now and look fully capable of winning it all, are known to be interested and discussed in league circles as potential suitors. So it's not just Giannis sort of flirting with the Celtics. It's the feeling is mutual, which okay, Giannis, if you're interested in going to a place where it's all on culture and winning and the mentality that you instilled, are you willing to give up the crap? Are you willing to give up the triple doubles?
Good question.
Do you have to bring your brothers? Are you because you understand now, if you come here, it's not even close to being your team. If it's ever anyone's team, the Celtics are one of those rare franchises where it's still kind of at least a little about the organization, not just a star player. I mean, they've turned over a lot to Tatum, and certainly if they're going to let Deuce run around and, allow Tatum to treat it like a daycare, maybe they will allow Giannis to bring his brothers. You know what I mean? It's not that far. The way the Celtics have allowed Tatum to carry on with Deuce isn't all that far away from how the Bucks have handled Giannis and his brothers. But you know what I mean, Mazz. It is still, the Celtics are different than the Bucks, where they just turn everything over to Giannis. The Celtics aren't going to quite do that. So is he willing to give up all the, King Giannis? Is he?
Look, things happen to guys when they get a little older and they have to move. So in that league, like the idea that you have to leave and go somewhere else, and particularly if that team has established stars, is almost like a demotion in that league in some ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're no longer the guy, but if you want to win, you have to accept a lesser role. And so I don't know. My answer is I don't know.
As you've seen here.
I'd be concerned about it too, though. I understand what you're saying.
As you've seen here, as you've seen everywhere, like it being quote unquote your team is important to these guys. Really important. And Giannis has gotten drunk on it. He's kind of lost his way because of it. Is he willing to come here and be like the third or fourth fiddle? Second, third, at most? The organization, Brown, Tatum, you. Like, that's kind of going to be the pecking. You're going to be fourth. Are you really willing to do that?
I just don't see it. If he hadn't won yet, again, I could talk myself into it because, okay, a guy would be willing to change because he wants to get a title so badly. I just think he wants out of there a big part of it is because the shine has come off of him because he's been exposed because he actually is kind of a selfish player. So that's going to change now that he's with the Celtics. I don't get it.
Well, he's got to rehabilitate his image a little, don't you think?
I don't know, Mazz. I'm down on him.
I know where I would want to go if I were him, and I'd pick Golden State.
Why?
Because it's older guys. They need a big guy. He could play a bigger role there. Like, I think he'd be a great fit for Golden State. You put him with Curry?
Yeah?
I do. Because I think he would still get the ball a fair amount. But again, he's got to be willing to play inside out. Which brings me to sort of a different thing with him, Mike. If he wants to go somewhere and win, then that team's going to have a good player. Like, he can't do it by himself.
Right.
So no matter where he goes, the Lakers would be another one that's an easy guess. Okay, but if he wants to go somewhere and win, he's going to have to accept that someone else is going to have the ball most of the time.
He wasn't willing to play off the ball when Damian Lillard, one of the premier point guards, and I know he's a shoot, but you know what I mean, one of the premier guys in the league came to his team. They still split it, if not more Giannis than Lillard. Lillard played off the ball. How dumb is that?
Really dumb. But maybe he learned his lesson.
Okay. He will have had to have learned his lesson, is what I would say on you. And I just don't, I don't see the fit on the floor. I don't see off the floor. I don't get the infatuation with Giannis unless the Celtics have it in their head that he becomes the player that he ought to have been. And he plays, he's a big, shiny role player. He's a glorified role player with MVP rings and championship. You know what I mean? And he's that guy, and they know he'll do it, and he will do it, and then the salary doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. What is it? I mean, Stevens is so good. He's so smart and so shrewd. He gets it. Well, what is the fascination with Giannis Antetokounmpo on this team when you've got the team? I don't. It blows me away.
And as Jimmy said years ago, there's a large Greek community here. Maybe they just want to.
Don't tell me it's that. Don't. I mean, that sounds like the top three stupidest things I've ever heard.
Okay, so do you think they're the best team in the league right now?
The Celtics?
Yes.
Yeah, they're one of them.
The best.
I mean,
the best. No.
I don't know.
Okay, so but
probably not.
Okay, because Oklahoma City, right? Because Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but I don't think they're winning it this year.
Who, Oklahoma City?
Yeah, okay, but why is this important? Well,
because my point is that if you stay as is, you might be really good, but you might not be quite championship caliber. And if you're looking at it and say, well, we got to have some sort of answer for Holmgren in some way if we play them. And I'm not telling you that I think Holmgren's some sort of like superstar, but he's good.
No, I mean, if you want to play it out, Wembanyama, Jokic, Holmgren, etc.
Yeah. So there are a lot of big guys in the West, and, you know, he would give you an antidote.
The problem is Giannis wants to play exactly like Tatum.
Okay.
And if he could shoot a lick, he would just stay out there like Tatum does.
So that's going to be drilled into his head. And if he's willing to do it, it's worth it. Mike, defensively, if he's engaged, he's the best player in the league. I think. If he's engaged. Well, but I'm with Jimmy, too. That Achilles
Did you say defensively?
Yeah.
He overrated defensively.
If he's engaged.
It was once a great off-ball, sort of weak side defender.
Mm-hmm.
On ball, he doesn't guard the best player because he's saving it for offense. Don't you understand? Like, that's his whole DNA he's been corrupted.
That it would have to change
by the American basketball culture. He's gone full AAU U.S. basketball a-hole.
And you've watched him more than I had, so I will defer to you on all that. I'm telling you, if he's willing to play defense, he's the best defender in the league.
617-779-0985. I promise. Back to your phones. I still have this giveaway. It's our long commercial-free segment right after this. Sean and Lawrence. Go, Sean.
You keep saying, like, oh, I didn't actually watch the game, whether it's Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, whatever. Like, isn't your job as a talk show host to actually watch sports?
So I would say my job is to get you to listen.
That is the job.
Mission accomplished.
Take this job and shove. Felger and Mazz. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Zaka wins a face-off in the offensive zone. Here's Hampus Lindholm, who scored earlier tonight. Arvidsson gives to McAvoy, coming down that left wing circle in front. Zaka scores! With 7:25 to go, we are tied at 5.
What a play by McAvoy here, right? You get possession off of the face-off. Brindamore is just wearing this referee out right now. Possession off of the face-off. McAvoy, strong move down the left wing side as he gets the puck dropped off to him by Arvidsson, and then he's going to get the puck in front. He's going to draw two Hurricanes to him, Svechnikov and Aho, and it's going to leave Zaka wide open in front. He's just going to chip this puck home past Bussy.
30th goal of the season for Pavel Zaka.
If you watch that play, Middlestat totally ran a pick on that. Totally interfered with someone in the face-off circle, which allowed McAvoy to go around the end and gave him all this room, and it was kind of an obvious pick interference that they either just ignored or didn't pick up. But either way, so listen, I feel there were portions of that game last night where it was apparent you want no part of the Hurricanes. That's a bad matchup. When they turn up the heat, there's nothing you can do. And it's been that way there in that building, particularly for a while for you.
But that second period, it's like the Bruins skates are pointed up. They're on their heels the whole time. They look so slow against that team.
But
stretches.
Then again, they did come back and eke out a point. And Geeky woke up. So maybe there's some good news, some silver lining there as well. All right, I promised a giveaway. Here it is. Caller number 10 to the contest line, 617-931-0985. We'll take home a pair of Brunt 6-inch Marin work boots. Whether you're on the job,
boy.
Go ahead.
Is it referencing Halloween or something?
No. Read it verbatim.
Yeah.
Read it verbatim. I want to hear it.
Whether you're on the job, in the truck, call contest line now.
Well, it was written by someone who's foreign.
Whether you're on the job, in the truck, call contest line now.
Or in the truck is how it should read.
Whether you're on job or in the truck, call line.
Whether you're on the job or in the truck, call the contest line now.
You know why it came out like that? Because we had to put it through Google Translate.
Because Moscatel is crayons.
From Adam to English.
Caller 10 to the contest line, 617-931-0985. We'll score some work boots from our friends at Brunt Workwear. I'm wearing a pair right now as we speak. I wear them every day to work because these guys keep the studio so effing cold that I have to wear boots to keep my feet warm.
It's like 70.
It's warm in here today.
Mary in Manchester joins us now. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Need napkins.
Hi, Mike. I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
So I'm calling on the Vrabel-Rossini story because I definitely think something's going on.
No.
I think
what gave you that idea, Mary?
Yeah. His statement was kind of a joke. And I'm not judging him. I don't really care what he does. But, I do think he's still a good coach. I don't think this has anything to do with him coaching. However, I do question whether or not he loses some credibility in the locker room because of this. That was my question to you guys. Do you think it's going to affect him in that sense?
Okay. So, no. I don't think it's going to affect him much internally. But it's hard to make a blanket statement about a football locker room because everyone always does this. It's like, well, they don't care. Well, listen, folks, there's 70 people in there.
Exactly right.
Okay, there's 53 on the active roster. There's practice squad. You're allowed to have like 63 guys. So whatever. There's between players and trainers and assistant coaches, you're talking like, let's just round it off to like 100 people that are under Vrabel, under his umbrella. So to say that all 100 are going to feel the exact same way is silly. Are there some really pious guys in there, really religious guys in there, really chaste guys in there, guys who are dedicated to their wife and feel strongly about celibacy or whatever? So, I can't tell you how everyone is going to feel. And I think there's probably some people who aren't so thrilled with it. But on balance, I don't think this is a problem for Vrabel internally. Do you?
No, because look, I think most people operate under do what you want with your own life. I'll do what I want to do with mine. And then when we have to work together, we work together.
But the whole thing about I don't want to judge him, like, why not?
Yeah, look, I can tell you the way I look at the whole thing is I think he hurt his image is what he hurt.
We judge everyone for everything. You don't want to judge someone who cheats on his wife?
Yeah.
Or lies?
I want to judge everyone.
Yeah, why can't you judge that?
Gets me out of bed in the morning.
Right.
Being a judgy prick, it's why I breathe.
We judge everyone for everything. Now someone lies and cheats on his wife and you don't want to judge that? Why not? You can judge it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think a good segment of the fan base looks at him and says, oh, he's not exactly what I thought he was. You know, and now rightly or wrongly, but I think people in the public, the fans, some of them will think a little less of him.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's kind of, you read that and that's hard to look at him the exact same way as you do now, as you did before, for some people. And so, people are going to feel differently about that, including guys in his own locker room. Mm-hmm. So I think...
Yeah, like Travion Henderson comes to mind. You know, you speak of man of faith, and he was just recently, Vrabel had to take those questions about he supported, was it Jaden Ivey was the dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, and he said, okay, he's a man of faith. I'm paraphrasing here, but he said at the owners' meetings about a week and a half ago, but I want to make sure he's educated. If I was Travion Henderson and I took offense to that, I would be sitting back right now and saying, oh, really now? Okay. So I don't think he's going to lose the locker room or anything like that.
No, so on balance, no. But... don't tell me there's not going to be a guy or two in there, if not more, who hears Vrabel as a key part to his pitch to these players. It's family. It's family. It's your family first. And we're doing this to support our family. We're doing this for our family. And it's about family. And he's big on family and your family and knowing your family and the importance of your family and all this. And he, if he stood in front of the room and gave that spiel today, there'd be a couple of guys look at him and go, you know what I mean?
Definitely, yes.
I mean, to say that he's not going to lose the room or whatever, you just got to. There's a lot of different people in there. So let's pick this up on the other side. We'll give you the story, give you our thoughts on the story, get deeper into it. If you want to call us on it, you can, 617-779-0985. First, it's an update from Big Jim Muray. It takes 90 seconds. There are no commercials, and then we're right back.